You're watching Poland Daily Business, and we will talk tonight about the energy business in Poland, particularly about the phasing out the coal plants. Jakub Wiech of energetyka24.pl is our guest tonight. So welcome to the show, and please tell us how those negotiations between striking coal miners and governments going on.
Well, of course, every side of these negotiations has its own interest and some other perspectives into how the mining sector in Poland should look like and should transform in the next several decades. So, of course, the government is planning to impose more strict regulations on the Polish mining sector and the Polish coal-fired power plants due to new European energy policy, which is European Green New Deal. And of course, the miners and their trade unions are doing their best to secure their jobs and whole industry from being shut down. So the negotiations like this, for me, are just the attempts to secure as much as the miners can, and from the side of the government is to cut the mines, cut the power plants that are being too expensive from many reasons for the state to continue them operating. So I think that the most important problem is that there is no long-term plan for the mining sector and for coal-fired power industry, due to the fact that the previous one that was presented to the miners in August was smashed by them, and the miner trade unions were sending information that they are preparing a Silesian uprising, the next Silesian uprising, to protect their jobs. So this is what the atmosphere looked like several weeks ago. Now the emotions are very high still, and there's still a threat from the side of miners that they will strike and go on strike, and that's what the government is trying to avoid. But as I said previously, the most important problem here is that there is no long-term plan of a coal sector transformation. So that's what government should work out right now.
Well, the framework looks as follows. There is a worldwide retreat from the coal-fired plants. We see the businesses like the GE that is saying that will discontinue the new coal technologies. On the other hand, the European Union is raising prices of the emission certificates for CO2. Therefore, I guess everyone understands that keeping the Polish mines is not supported. It cannot be continued anymore. What we hear is a German model of transformation. What actually means German model?
Well, the German model of coal sector transformation is simply based on two important trends. First of all, the trend among the commodities, the power companies, which is to put all coal assets into the one company, to make one huge coal operator, to free other companies from these assets, from the mines, from power plants that are being more and more costly to operate. And the other part of the plan is to set a date of exit from coal mining, and set a date for exit from the generating power from coal-fired power plants. And that's what the Germans did, and they closed their last hard coal mines in 2018, and they are now preparing to close all their coal-fired power plants in 2038. And they have started a vast program that is aimed to secure the miners and to requalify them into other jobs, and also to secure the traditions, secure the spaces that are now used by power plants or by coal mines. So that's what Germany is doing right now when it comes to the power sector.
Well,
and as I said,
let me say, let me say one thing here, because the Germans decided in the beginning of 2000, early 2000 years, that they will phase out coal in their economy, and that has proven to be very costly. But right now, we are in the situation when the sustainable power generation modes are falling in price very significantly. Can we assess how much cheaper will be this transformation for Poland comparing to Germany?
Well, of course, it depends on the costs of support systems for renewables or for social groups like miners. To be secured in this transformation. The Polish energy policy to the year 2040 that was presented by the former energy minister Krzysztof Tchórzewski was assumed to cost over 100 billion euros at all. So this is that cost did not let Poland go down with the use of coal to zero, but to let's say 50% from 80% now. So I believe that the complete shutdown of Polish mining sector and Polish coal-fired power plants will cost much more than this. But it's very hard to right now to project how high the cost will be. However, we can see how the Germans are doing with this, and how much money they spend on their power sector and on the mines that are being closed and the power plants that are being shut down. So it may be some important experience, first of all, to assume the cost and to try to avoid the mistakes that they are now doing, and to create a better system that will imply to Polish conditions.
Right, because we can learn on somebody else's mistake, which is always the call and challenge. Let's hope this time we will be able to do just that. Jakub Wiech, energetyka24.pl was our guest, sir. Thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you.
And that was it for Poland Daily Business tonight. Please watch us tomorrow, same time. Dobra.